Hey guys, I've spent a lot of my career and personal experimentation focusing on nutrition and generally ignoring exercise. Over the last few years, especially since the pandemic, I've been doing a whole heap more exercise, all different sorts, and the physical and mental effects have just been so positive that I'm really keen to share some thoughts with you guys. Today, I'm going to address 3 topics really briefly. How much exercise do we need? What's the actual benefit of exercise? And what exercise should I do? And stick around to the end and I'll share my personal experience of an awesome app-based training program that was a game changer for me and my patients. Let's do this. Do you know the recommended amount of weekly exercise in the UK for adults? So it's either 150 minutes of moderate activity or about 75 minutes of vigorous activity, with moderate activity being defined as being slightly out of breath, such as brisk walking, lawn mowing, or leisurely cycling. This is known as aerobic activity. And vigorous activity being defined as being out of breath, not just slightly out of breath. Things like running, walking upstairs, competitive sports. This is known as anaerobic training. But that's not it. Also, we need to do about 2 sessions of strengthening activities that work all the major muscle groups: arms, legs, hips, back, abdomen, chest, over about 5 days in bouts of at least 10 minutes or more. I'm thinking things like weight training, yoga, carrying heavy shopping, anything along those lines. The first thing to note here is that this strikes me as an awful lot of activity in just 1 week. We just can't slot this in without much thought. We need a plan of action to be able to do this. The second thing is that most people just don't realize that strengthening activities are a key part of beneficial exercise for everybody. It really is. Muscle and joint fluidity and resilience is the difference between frailty and injury now and later in life. The third thing is about 25% of the population do actually manage to do this exercise regime. That's not bad considering the amount of effort and time required. So what about the other 75% of people who aren't doing the recommended amount of exercise? What are they actually missing out on? In 2015, the Academy of Medical Royal Colleges published a paper called Exercise: The Miracle Cure. I know this sounds a little bit like a clickbait headline, but the evidence in favor of exercise is so strong and so overwhelming that it's actually a miracle that more people don't do it. Not convinced? This is what happens to your risk of disease if you follow the guidelines that I mentioned above. Heart disease, down by 40%. Hypertension, down by 52%. Stroke, down by 30%. Type 2 diabetes, down by 50%. Breast cancer, down by 25%. Bowel cancer, down by 45%. Depression, down by 30%. Dementia, down by 30%. Lower back pain, down by 40%. Osteoarthritis, down by 45%. I can go on and on and on. Fracture risk, falls risk, osteoporosis risk, down, down, and down. And the total risk of death, if you do this exercise, goes down by a whopping 30%. I think you get the picture. Physical activity manages over 20 different physical and mental chronic diseases. And the best part, the people that gain the most from exercise are those that go from doing nothing to something, minimal to moderate activity. And the gains, miraculous. So if you don't believe in miracles, it's time to eat some humble pie and get down on your hands and knees and give me 20. Go, go, go. Just do it! The only thing left is what to do. Or put another way, what's the best exercise to live well now and live longer? Cycling? Swimming? Calisthenics? Nope. What about tennis? Yep, in the Copenhagen City Heart Study, they followed thousands of people over 25 plus years and found that playing sports increased life expectancy. Well, duh, we know that. Tennis actually, of all the sports, increased life expectancy by 9.7 years. This was top of the list of the sports that they studied. Badminton came second at about 6.2 years and football third at about 4.7. Cycling and swimming were lower down the list, a meager 3.3 years, but still pretty impressive. Why is tennis so good? Well, racket sports generally are multi-dimensional. You need a mix of balance, brains, strategy, and brawn. It's pretty physically challenging too. It's also very social. You have to belong to a group and you need to meet regularly. All of this promotes support, trust, commonality, and all of these things add up to well-being and increased health outcomes. It also promotes short intervals of high-intensity activity, which in this study was found to be superior to continuous moderate activity. So basically, this is a form of interval training where you do periods of fast and slow activity. Okay, I'm not here telling you that everyone needs to take tennis. That's not the point of this study. I want you to take the study with a pinch of salt. The real message here isn't play tennis. The message here is play sports. All of them lengthen your life and help you live better. And the real message of this video is to do activity, regularly, anything that you enjoy, and try to hit those government recommendations consistently. If you can do this with people, all the better. If not, with yourself is fine, and the reality for most people is that you will be doing this yourself. But if that's the case, you do need a plan, as I mentioned before, especially to be more creative in maintaining motivation and reaching and re-establishing goals and holding yourself to account. If you're doing your own thing and you're just getting started, I really recommend the Couch to 5K. If you don't know what this is, it's an evidence-based and government-approved app that walks and talks you through 9 weeks of interval training, 3 times a week, slowly at first with a mix of walking and jogging, with the end goal of getting you running for about 30 minutes without stopping, about 5K. I did it about 2 years ago, managed to complete it, and have been running regularly ever since. I also tell all my patients about it and have had some awesome feedback and some real life-changing stories with people getting back into exercise after a 30-year hiatus. Really awesome stuff. Please do check out the link in the description below if you want to find out a little bit more, and if you know someone that you think may be keen to get started, do share the link with them too. That's it for today, so what are you waiting for? Get out there and move. Look forward to your comments, and please don't forget to subscribe. Till next time, this is Dr. Sinan. Stay healthy.